Good morning, good morning. Today we're taking a look at XRP, the liquidity, and the Sigma coin. So, all right guys, last night, late into the evening, we had a wick that occurred at 1:30 a.m. my time upwards towards this level of the 145.11. Don't know why that says 14, but 145.11 is what it should be with the measured move. And that level ultimately did not hit here on the spot premium of XRP, but it did clear on the futures contracts because I'd left some contracts there while I went to sleep, downgraded my positioning, which is fine, and ultimately proceeded to fill that entire order and wicked right up to it. So this wick made it on the futures market, but not on spot. Since then, we've had a breakdown of 5 waves, an ABC correction back to the upside, and it looks as if though that the plan is lower for XRP here. So this would be your 5 waves to the downside and ABC back up, an equal measured move for the ABC retrace, and that should be all that she wrote for now, as we then roll over and start capitulating off of some news narrative or some language shows up that pushes us potentially all the way back down to down here to $1.32, maybe even as lower as $1.31. I could see this being the spot right over here. I could see that $1.30 being an opening that causes us to capitulate back down, and it could be quick, get to this area, bounce, and then just done. Then we bounce again, and then we get out of here. So it looks as if though that this setup is what we're expecting right here, and we're ultimately just going to be trading that ABC up and then getting down to this low level here. So that's my current game plan at this moment. So we will see how that plays, and then but it should be quick and fast. So today's failed breakout here on this candle really just shows that we're starting this next leg. So I am getting ready to go lower. So that's what we're watching here for XRP. With that, we've got the VLO data. VLO data cooled off on the open interest, so we had gotten really kind of overdone. Let's see, are we even on Bitcoin? There's Bitcoin. Let's jump over to XRP. XRP, we cooled off on the open interest. Most of it's are longs now, right? So they closed out most of it. They've all become long. Spot buying is not really increased, and so the longs are degenning here, and they've been showing up because this is green for long. When we had the red, that's where we got that final squeeze. So now it's all longs, so a squeeze downward is likely, and we have liquidity below us here on the short time frame. And then if we zoom out to, I believe, the 2 weeks, you'll see the majority of the liquidity is below us. So let's take a look as this loads here. So as we wait patiently for this to happen, it should, there you go, look at that, all down in the 130s. So they just go and they just take it all back, all the way back to this inefficiency right here on the market. So that's what I'm currently expecting and anticipating. And so with that, we'll see how the memes manage to manifest. But so far, Sigma's been holding this ABC. So the only thing I can potentially glean is that if we see this cross right here, so we don't want to see Sigma break below 785er. If we see that not happen, then a continuation is likely. If we do see that happen, then this would be an ABC up, and we would be looking at a 5-wave break back down, and we could technically even come down to some like crazy low levels. Man, talk about an opportunity. I just don't think it's going to be that massive. This hopefully is not to be revisited, but if it does, that's okay. We'll just let it happen. But as of right now, we're looking at this price action go higher setup is where we're currently sitting on Sigma, and the percentage fall on XRP probably won't be enough to break this down, because we did all this with XRP barely working off the lows. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to be just fine. So all right, so we've got that playing out for Sigma. We've got liquidity way down to here. We've got the VLO data showing that most of the people are long right now. We've got a structure ultimately basing this off of a retrace play. So if we zoom in on the 5-minute, you could see that this ultimately couldn't get enough strength to push higher as of right now. And we had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves, ABC up, and it rejected. And now we're getting ready to come back down and continue this next leg with most likely a narrative after doing a large ABC correction back up, which was front ran from our target, but not on the futures market. So lastly, Ticker Tactics has been adding new things. So we've got the a couple little indicators that you can work off of. So as I refresh this here, you'll see that we've got our sequence pressure, which are those little triangles, which are wonderful. We've got levels, which have been great for snipes and entries of a different area through called our range rails. And we just added our heads-up display. And that heads-up display ultimately is this little box in the corner here that allows you to see what's going on at a glance without having to trade it, and it combines a majority of your experience into one indicator. So if you have a smaller trading view package, this one is the one for you, because you can get up to multiple details on here. We also have a bar for those desktop people, all part of this process here. So we're building, we're adding, and it's pretty cool. These are all the tools I've used and made with for years, and I'm just glad to be able to bring them to you guys to benefit. So all right, thanks so much for watching. So there's your ticker tactics. We got the liquidity to the downside. Sigma's grinding, looking for higher. Velo data shows that it's mostly longs as open interest is increasing, with a retrace on XRP with an ABC up that will ultimately be our capitulation breakdown and take this whole range back and wreck everybody who went long way down into this region to $1.30. So all right, guys, we will check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.